We're on live! Okay, cool. Hey guys, it's Edrian Pangilinan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time, thank you and welcome to the family. So for today's video, I will be talking about my YouTube rewind for 2018 just because I really feel like, even though it's already the new year, I still feel like I wanted to give this a shot just because I feel like 2018 was such a tremendous year of growth, adventure, experiences in general. I mean, I definitely wanted to do a video because I felt like so much has happened. And I think there's definitely enough for me to create a video. Hence why I'm doing this. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one is definitely having my first full-time job ever with benefits. And not just that, it was working with people with special needs. I'm just definitely happy that I was able to find a job straight after graduating from SDSU with my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Dance back in last December 2017. I was able to get hired 2 weeks after. Yes, I was just really happy I was able to find a job because that was one of my biggest worries, panics that I was having prior to graduating. Anywho, working at that job was definitely very interesting. It was very fun actually, very, very fun. There were some days where I found myself being chased and being attacked by a client, having a good time with them, walking with them to the local Starbucks and just literally chilling like a villain. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely at a loss for words right now, but that job is definitely going to be in the books forever in my heart. When I left in August, I was very heartbroken because also I became very, very attached and very close to a lot of these clients because, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like even though they have more needs than we do, I just felt like they were just people like you and I at the end of the day that just needed to feel like they were loved and even acknowledged, you know, and I kind of really feel like they helped fill a void in my heart. They definitely became friends, you know, even though half the time I didn't know what they're saying. We were on the same wavelength and we definitely understood each other, so there was that. So I lasted in that job up until August, which paved the way for me to travel to New York City. I actually did not even have an order for this, but I'm just gonna go with the flow, so I guess that's the next one. So more traveling. I must have traveled at least, let me see, San Francisco in January, actually, the beginning of the year, last year. January, and then I went to Tacoma, Washington again back in May, Memorial Day. And then usually I only do that much traveling, if not once only. Apparently I caught the bug and I wanted to travel again. So New York City, New York happened, which was the third time. In September, Labor Day weekend, which was one of the main reasons why I left my last job. And then I was able to travel again back to San Francisco in December, so that's four times of traveling this year. I definitely have caught the bug and I definitely want to keep adding on to the list, adding on to my life experiences. New York City though, New York City was definitely a surprising one for me because first of all, like what I told everyone, I didn't know that I was even gonna go to New York, let alone wanted to go to New York, because I've always had this perception that New York City was very overpopulated. It's true. It stinks. It's true. Somehow, some way, I got the gut feeling to travel there, and you know, thankfully I've been able to do a good job of just listening to my gut and just, you know, rolling with it. And you know, the first thing that I did was I texted my friend Steve if he was able to host me during Labor Day weekend, and he said yes. You know, that definitely already gave me the green light to go. And I'm just glad that even though I ended up leaving my job, that I was able to make it happen. I actually really fell in love with New York, and being there and going there made me realize the reason why I needed to go there. And that was for me to realize that there is more to life than the life that I mainly know of here in San Diego. There's so much more. There's so much more to life. I definitely needed a wake-up call. That was such a refreshing wake-up call. Okay, so definitely a wake-up call for me. It definitely rejuvenated me. It inspired me to create again. It really made me continue to embrace the inner artist in me. I definitely want to go back, and well, actually at some point I was very convinced that I want to move there, and I believe I still am. You know, it just may not have been the original January 2020 that I initially sought out. But you know what? Never say never. So we never know what could be happening around this time next year. So the third one that comes to mind is being a guest speaker for the first time for an LGBT forum where I was a guest speaker, and the theme was about the intersection of LGBT in different generations and ethnicities, I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. And my friend Sam, who was the person that curated all of it, was also the same person that invited me. So the reason why that even happened was because I volunteered basically to be interviewed for his thesis that he was working on. I don't know, I really take pride and am vocal about my experiences, my adversities, and overcoming those that gave him the idea and also the green light for him to ask me to be one of the guest speakers. Initially, I was but I was just a bit skeptical. I was like, me? You know, speaking for the people, what would I talk about? He managed to convince me to just be myself, to just share my story. I still remember that night as if it was just yesterday because I was a nervous wreck. I procrastinated on my speech and I didn't finish it up until right before I left, and I was even late, not late to the whole event, but I was just late to the initial call time, which was at 6. I didn't leave the house till 6, and I didn't memorize my things, so when I got there I was a nervous wreck. People were very receptive to my speech, and I believe I was the second to the last one. Hooray for that experience of being able to, just be a guest speaker about sharing about my experiences. Hopefully, there are many more opportunities for me to do this again in whatever avenue or spectrum. So that's the third one. The fourth one is this, my YouTube channel. Wow, on the contrary, my YouTube channel. So I'm not sure if I really shared this yet with y'all, but many of my friends know that this YouTube idea actually came from New Year's Eve 2017. I was just doing dishes, cleaning, being Cinderella as usual, getting ready for the party, and I was just doing dishes outside, and all of a sudden it clicked to me that I need to go back to YouTube. I didn't know in what way or avenue, because actually I started vlogging 10 years ago when vlogging was not even a term. It was just a way for me to, keep memories of me and my friends, and that was that. And 10 years later, I got this idea to go back into it. I didn't know how to approach it, so a couple months passed, had the intention to do it, but didn't really know how I was gonna do it. And then May came, and I traveled to Tacoma, Washington to visit my good friends Mary and Jeff. And I definitely wanted to use that trip as an opportunity to start vlogging. So I packed up everything. I packed up my camera, this camera that I'm using, which is a Canon Rebel T5i, kind of clunky. And when I got there, I also didn't have a tripod, which was probably the main reason why I wasn't really able to vlog. Then again, I realized that the situation didn't need to be perfect for me to start, and that I just needed to start. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to vlog. I tried to, and that only clip that I got from my cell phone, the audio connection from the earphones that I was using wasn't working. So essentially, that was the first time for me to start vlogging. That didn't work out. I'm trying to remember how this really came about. I brought Lorraine into the creative team to this whole YouTube preparations, and we were just planning in person, planning via Google Docs and all that stuff. So I remember we had Korean barbecue. And then we had boba after, and it was actually during the boba that we, but even then we didn't have a green signal to start filming yet, because all we were doing was planning, and we were well, we were stuck in planning. So that night in, I think, late June, I set a date for a September premiere. All I knew was that I needed to create 12 videos by the time I premiered in September, given that I was gonna upload once a week. That was definitely the beginning of the process for me. And I just remember filming for the fun of it, you know, and which is a place that I'm trying to go back to, you know, trying to find that sweet spot for me to really be able to just create content for the love of it. I was in New York actually when September 1 came, when I premiered, and I was walking, strolling in the Brooklyn Bridge, and I don't know, I just couldn't help but feel very, very proud that I premiered my YouTube channel. I'm definitely happy that I've been able to meet new people and also reconnect with certain people because of this endeavor. Oh, obviously, how could I forget? Leaving my full-time job to become a full-time freelance content creator was definitely a highlight for 2018 for me. So that happened in August, as I admit, as I was about to get fired from my other job. I still thought I was gonna get fired, so I definitely jumped off the boat before it sank. And just in time for me to go to New York. And actually, I thought that I was only gonna be unemployed, or I only had anticipated to be unemployed for about a month the latest, and the months went by really fast, and now it's January. And I'm about to start a new job. For about 4 months of doing this, I was still surprised at how much I was able to continue to support myself financially, even though it was very limited. I had clients coming in, you know, somehow, some way, I was definitely able to make it work. I was able to, actually, even with that, I was able to improve my credit score, a little bit TMI, but what the heck, I was able to improve my credit score with my limited money that I had. So there was definitely something about pursuing this that definitely made me realize that less is more. But also with that actually came with so much lessons learned. So definitely the reason why I'm wanting to go back to having some sort of day job is because also financially, and also having that day job would represent the balance. Later in the year, I got a random phone call from one of my mentors, Mr. Nick Mahabong. So he checked up on me and I shared my experiences about doing all of this, and he said that now that I am a full-time content creator, the balance has been set this way, meaning this side over here is more time, more freedom, just more time. The upper part is money, less money. So now that I left my job to do this, and humble beginnings, basically are happening. I have more time to my hands, but I don't have as much money. So therefore my work has become tainted because of the need for the money. And I agree with him. What he suggested for me was to go back to work. But since he knew that I really valued my time, having more time to travel and more time to create work, he suggested that I get a job where I make a lot of money in shorter amount of days. And I actually interviewed several times. Maybe 3 times in between, and I actually had to turn down 2 jobs. One of them I was very close to getting hired, but I realized that if I had chosen that job, that I was gonna go back to square one again with being stuck in a job and not feeling like I'm able to travel and not being able to honor that part of myself, especially post-grad. I really value human interactions, which is one of the things that I realized about being a full-time content creator, was that somehow, some way, everything became, it felt like my work became 24/7. It felt like I definitely had a hard time drawing the line, even though yes, I was my own boss and I was able to call the shots. It still felt like I worked from the moment I got up until the moment I went to sleep, past midnight. And yeah, so there was that. The biggest lesson that I've learned from being a full-time content creator is finding the sweet spot, the balance. And lastly, I realized that yes, I would love to stay being a professional when it comes to my art, my craft. Yes, earning profit, you know, but I also want to keep it here, to keep the passion alive. That is a journey. That is the balance that I'm trying to find. I lost count of where I'm at, but dance, I don't know, I definitely, dance is definitely something that I want to go back to. And I know that in my past couple of vlogs, I've kind of mentioned it here and there. And I'm actually also going to do a full-on vlog about this, about why I stopped dancing. I realized that I lost trust in myself. I didn't believe in myself anymore. I didn't believe in my talents. I didn't believe in my skills. And somehow, some way, I really needed to take a break. So there's that, you know, that was one of my biggest realizations with dance was I still love it, we're still loving it, and I still really want to do it, you know, but I just need to build myself up first before I go back into it. Or maybe, or what if I build myself up through dance? Oh, just kidding, before I forget. Okay, I thought that was the last one. There's one more, okay. I'm so sorry, there's one more, guys. Towards the later part of the year, I was able to start finding my peace, my way back into the church, into my faith. And you know what, I really have to thank this platform, YouTube, for really helping pave the way for that. Because I remember when I made the video around August, I definitely felt like I was in a different place. But somehow, some way, you know, towards the end of the year, maybe October, around October, I think my need to, I just really realized that I needed to surrender, because I definitely had well, it felt like I had nothing. So, you know, I felt like I was able to become closer because I had nothing, first of all. I needed to let go of my need for control, for things to be the way that it is, and just embrace surrendering. That's what it is, surrendering. I was at a place where I needed to surrender, and in that surrendering, I really was able to find that place again of being in the church, you know, my relationship with Him and my faith, you know, best serving me where I'm at right now, and that is for me to use church time as a way for me to meditate, of course pray, and also spend time with my family. Going to church is really one of the only times that I get to be with my family all together, because all of us are so busy now, and that family time has become more precious for me. So I've definitely been able to find more ease, more peace. Hey, that's right, more ease, more peace. You know, being at church, which in return has given me more hope, more happiness, but just definitely more peace. Especially even right now, things aren't perfect, you know. There are some things that I'm working on resolving. It definitely feels good to ask for help, to surrender and pray. So there's that. So very thankful, very, very, very thankful. Okay, so that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. I don't know how long the video is gonna be, but for however long it is, I'm very, very thankful that you all made it to the end. 2018, you know, was definitely a year to remember, but 2019, please even be more memorable. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and without further ado, thank you very much and have a good day, guys.